Give me a suit of armor that can withstand the fires of 1,000 suns, and I shall deliver you 1,000 worlds." These words, attributed to the Primarch Vulcan, speak to the vital importance of Space Marine power armor in the conquest and defense of the Imperium. But what makes each armor type unique? How has 10 millennia of warfare shaped their design? In this video, we'll explore the history, capabilities, and legacy of every single Space Marine power armor type, from the humble beginnings of the Thunder Warriors to the technological marvels worn by the Primaris Marines. In the brutal aftermath of Old Night, Terra lay in ruins, its surface ravaged by endless wars and the remnants of ancient technologies. From this crucible of violence emerged the Emperor's vision for humanity's future, and with it, the first iterations of power armor. The Thunder Warriors, Proto-Astartes created to unify Terra, donned what would become known as Thunder Armor, a crude yet effective precursor to the iconic power armor of the Space Marines. Thunder Armor was a patchwork of ancient tech and improvised solutions, born from necessity rather than careful design. Its primary components consisted of thick ceramite plates, rudimentary power systems, and basic life support functions. The armor's bulk and weight were substantial, reflecting the Emperor's focus on creating warriors capable of withstanding the harshest combat conditions on a war-torn Terra. Despite its imposing appearance, Thunder Armor had significant limitations when it came to full-scale warfare. The power systems were unstable, often failing during prolonged engagements. Mobility was severely compromised, with Thunder Warriors relying more on brute strength than agility. The armor's environmental seals were imperfect, leaving wearers vulnerable to toxic atmospheres and extreme temperatures that would become commonplace during the Great Crusade. Yet, for all its flaws, Thunder Armor played a crucial role in the Unification Wars. It allowed the Thunder Warriors to wade through hails of bullets, shrug off energy weapon impacts, and engage in protracted melee combat with the techno-barbarians and gene cults that opposed the Emperor's rule. The sight of these armored giants striding across battlefields struck terror into the hearts of Terra's fragmented nations, hastening their capitulation to the Emperor's will. The true genius of Thunder Armor lay in its integrated strength enhancement systems. Rudimentary servo motors and synthetic muscle fibers amplified the already superhuman strength of the Thunder Warriors, allowing them to wield massive weapons and tear through enemy fortifications with ease. The armor's power source, while unstable, provided the energy needed for these enhancements, as well as powering basic targeting systems and communication arrays. As effective as Thunder Armor was in its time, its obsolescence was inevitable. The Emperor's plans extended far beyond Terra, and the limitations of Thunder Armor became increasingly apparent. The armor's bulk made it unsuitable for void warfare, its power systems were incompatible with extended campaigns, and its production was too resource-intensive for mass deployment across the galaxy. Yet, the legacy of Thunder Armor lived on. Its successes and failures informed the development of future Space Marine power armor. The basic principles of strength enhancement, life support, and modular design were refined and improved upon. The integration of more advanced Martian technology allowed for sleeker, more efficient designs that retained the protective qualities of Thunder Armor, while vastly improving mobility and operational endurance. As the last Thunder Warriors fell and the Emperor's gaze turned to the stars, a new generation of warriors emerged. These Space Marines, clad in the Mark I power armor, would carry the torch lit by their thunder-armored predecessors. The evolution of Space Marine power armor had begun, each iteration building upon the lessons learned from the humble yet formidable beginnings of Thunder Armor. As humanity's gaze turned to the stars, the Emperor's vision of galactic conquest demanded a new breed of warrior. The Space Marines, clad in their iconic power armor, would be the spearhead of this great crusade, but the Thunder Armor of old was ill-suited for the challenges that lay beyond Terra's atmosphere. Enter the Mark II Crusade armor, a revolutionary leap forward in Space Marine protection and combat effectiveness. The Mark II, affectionately known as Crusade armor, represented a quantum leap in design and functionality. Gone were the crude patchwork solutions of Thunder Armor, replaced by a seamless integration of the finest Martian technology. The armor's most striking feature was its articulated design. with overlapping plates connected by hoops that allowed for unprecedented flexibility and range of motion. This innovation alone transformed Space Marines from lumbering warriors into agile instruments of war, capable of complex maneuvers in any combat scenario. Perhaps the most significant advancement in the Mark II was its power source. The integration of Martian technology resulted in a far more sophisticated and efficient system, allowing for the inclusion of powered leg armor, a feature sorely lacking in its predecessor. This came at the cost of leaving the legs without cooling zones, but it was a small price to pay for the added protection and strength enhancement. The improved power supply also enabled the inclusion of more advanced life support systems, making the armor suitable for extended operations in the hostile environments of distant worlds. The neural interface of the Mark II was a marvel of biomechanical engineering. It allowed the wearer to feel the armor as an extension of their own body, a second skin that responded to their thoughts and movements with preternatural speed. This deep integration enhanced the Space Marines' already superhuman reflexes and situational awareness. Through their helmets, they could see and hear as if unencumbered, giving them a decisive edge in the chaotic melee of close-quarters combat. In the early stages of the Great Crusade, Mark II Crusade armor proved its worth time and again. Space Marines could now operate effectively in a wide range of environments, from the vacuum of space to the crushing pressures of gas giant atmospheres. The armor's enhanced durability and power systems allowed for extended campaigns without the need for frequent resupply, a crucial factor in the rapid expansion of the nascent Imperium. The impact of Mark II armor on Space Marine tactics was profound. With their increased mobility and protection, Astartes could now execute complex maneuvers that were previously impossible. Drop pod assaults, boarding actions, and rapid strike missions became the hallmark of Space Marine operations, catching enemies off guard and shattering their defenses before they could mount an effective response. The legacy of Crusade armor extended far beyond the Great Crusade itself. Its robust design and modular construction allowed it to remain in service well into the 41st millennium, a testament to the ingenuity of its creators. Even as newer marks of armor were developed, many Space Marines continued to favor the reliable and battle-tested Mark II, particularly in situations where its unique blend of protection and flexibility gave them an edge. As the Great Crusade pushed into the far reaches of the galaxy, Space Marines encountered increasingly treacherous and confined battlefields. The Emperor's forces found themselves fighting in cramped starship corridors, twisting alien hive cities, and labyrinthine underground complexes. These new combat environments demanded a specialized form of protection, leading to the development of the Mark III iron armor. The Mark III was a testament to the adaptability of Imperial technology. Its most distinctive feature was the broad, thickened frontal armor plates, designed to withstand concentrated enemy fire in situations where cover was scarce. This additional protection came at a cost, however. The iron armor sacrificed some of the agility and flexibility of its predecessor, the Mark II Crusade armor, in favor of raw durability. The trade-off between protection and mobility was a calculated decision. In the confined spaces of void warfare and boarding actions, the ability to absorb punishment took precedence over maneuverability. Space Marines clad in Mark III could weather storms of enemy fire as they advanced through narrow corridors and breached enemy strongholds. The armor's enhanced life support systems and reinforced seals also made it ideal for operations in hostile environments, including the vacuum of space. Mark III iron armor proved particularly effective in void warfare scenarios. During ship-to-ship engagements, Space Marines could spearhead boarding actions with confidence, knowing their armor could withstand the intense close-quarters combat that inevitably followed. The psychological impact of these heavily armored warriors was significant. To allies, the sight of Mark III-clad Space Marines advancing inexorably through enemy fire was a morale-boosting display of Imperial might. To enemies, the relentless advance of these nigh-invulnerable warriors often broke their will to fight before a single blow was struck. As the galaxy-spanning conflict of the Horus Heresy erupted, the Mark III iron armor found itself thrust into an even more crucial role. The the Civil War's brutal attrition and the severing of supply lines meant that every suit of armor became a precious resource. The Mark III's durability and ease of maintenance made it a favored choice for both loyalist and traitor forces engaged in protracted sieges and grueling urban warfare. The legacy of Mark III iron armor extended far beyond the Heresy. Its design principles influenced future armor marks, particularly in the development of specialized close-quarters combat variants. Even in the 41st millennium, some chapters still maintain and deploy Mark III suits, valuing their unparalleled protection in specific combat scenarios. The enduring effectiveness of Mark III iron armor lies in its specialized design for close-quarters combat. Its reinforced frontal armor allowed Space Marines to advance relentlessly through enemy fire, while its overall durability ensured survival in the most punishing environments. This focus on protection over mobility proved to be a winning formula in the confined battlefields of the Great Crusade and beyond, cementing the Mark III's place in the annals of Space Marine warfare. At the zenith of the Great Crusade, the Martian artificers achieved a masterpiece of engineering with the Mark IV Maximus armor. This pinnacle of pre-Heresy technology represented a quantum leap in Space Marine protection and combat effectiveness. The Mark IV's design incorporated larger expanses of armor plating, providing superior protection compared to its predecessors. Despite the increased coverage, the armor maintained impressive mobility thanks to new flexible joints that aided movement. One of the most significant advancements in the Mark IV was its power efficiency. The re-engineered power cable system, moved from beneath the chest plate, allowed for better energy transfer and reduced overall weight. This innovation not only improved the armor's performance, but also increased its operational longevity, a crucial factor in extended campaigns across the galaxy. The Mark IV's helmet design was a testament to the ingenuity of its creators. Its sloping shape was specifically engineered to deflect incoming fire, marking a substantial improvement in head protection. This feature, combined with enhanced sensory capabilities, drastically improved the wearer's situational awareness on the battlefield. Space Marines equipped with Mark IV armor could process real-time data and make split-second decisions with unprecedented accuracy. The widespread distribution of Mark IV armor among the Space Marine legions before the Horus Heresy solidified its role as the standard for elite forces. Its advanced systems and improved protection cemented Space Marine dominance across a myriad of battlefields. The armor's ability to integrate cutting-edge technology allowed Astartes to adapt to various combat scenarios, from void warfare to planetary assaults, with unparalleled efficiency. As the galaxy plunged into the chaos of the Horus Heresy, the Mark IV Maximus armor faced its greatest test. The armor's advanced systems, while incredibly effective, presented challenges in the face of resource scarcity and disrupted supply lines. Maintenance became increasingly difficult, forcing many Space Marines to rely on improvisation and field repairs to keep their armor operational. Despite these challenges, the Mark IV became a symbol of loyalist resistance during the Heresy. Its superior protection and combat capabilities often meant the difference between victory and defeat in the brutal civil war that engulfed the Imperium. Loyalist forces, outnumbered and outgunned, relied heavily on the advanced features of the Mark IV to level the playing field against their traitorous brethren. The Mark IV Maximus armor introduced unique features that would influence power armor design for millennia to come. Its modular construction allowed for easier repairs and upgrades, a characteristic that proved invaluable during the long years of the Heresy and beyond. The armor's advanced auto-sensors and data processing capabilities set a new standard for battlefield awareness, while its improved power distribution system became the template for future marks of power armor. As the galaxy erupted into the flames of civil war, the Horus Heresy shattered the foundations of the Imperium. In this crucible of betrayal and conflict, a new mark of power armor emerged, the Mark V, aptly named Heresy Pattern Armor. Born out of necessity rather than careful design, the Mark V embodied the desperate ingenuity of Space Marines fighting a war that threatened to tear humanity apart. The Mark V was a testament to the adaptability of the Adeptus Astartes in the face of unprecedented challenges. With supply lines severed and forge worlds consumed by conflict, Space Marines on both sides of the war found themselves unable to maintain or replace their advanced Mark IV suits. In response, they cobbled together new armor using whatever components were available. The result was a patchwork of technology, combining elements from earlier Marks with field modifications and improvised solutions. One of the most distinctive features of the Mark V was the incorporation of molecular bonding studs. These studs, designed to break off in response to massive damage, provided crucial protection against the heavy weaponry employed in Legion versus Legion combat. The sight of these studded armors became synonymous with the brutal, fratricidal conflict, a visual reminder of the lengths to which Space Marines went to survive. The challenges of maintaining Mark IV armor during the Heresy were immense. The combination of components from different Marks often led to compatibility issues, with machine spirits clashing and systems failing at critical moments. Tech Marines worked tirelessly to keep these suits operational, often resorting to unorthodox methods and forbidden techno-arcana to overcome the limitations of their patchwork creations. As the Heresy raged on, a variety of Mark V variants emerged, each reflecting the unique circumstances and resources of the Legion that created it. Some incorporated salvaged Xenos technology, while others featured experimental systems never intended for widespread use. These variants ranged from crude, barely functional suits to technological marvels that pushed the boundaries of human innovation. In the aftermath of the Heresy, Mark V armor took on a new symbolism within the Imperium. To some, it represented the resourcefulness and determination of loyal Space Marines who fought against impossible odds. To others, it was a grim reminder of the dark days when brother turned against brother, its studded surface evoking memories of hard-fought battles and bitter losses. The long-term impact of Mark V armor on Space Marine equipment was profound. The experience of maintaining and modifying these suits in the field led to new approaches in armor design, emphasizing modularity and ease of repair. Future Marks would incorporate lessons learned from the Heresy pattern, ensuring that Space Marines could adapt their war gear to meet the ever-changing demands of combat across the galaxy. Ultimately, the Mark V Heresy pattern armor stands as a testament to the resilience and adaptability of the Space Marines. In the face of galactic civil war and technological regression, these patchwork suits ensured the survival of the Adeptus Astartes, allowing them to continue their vigil over the Imperium in the grim darkness of the far future. As the Horus Heresy plunged the galaxy into darkness, a new predator emerged from the shadows. The Mark VI Corvus armor, named after the Raven Guard's Primarch Corvus Corax, represented a significant leap forward in Space Marine protection and combat capabilities. This sleek, agile design stood in stark contrast to the bulky, improvised Mark V Heresy pattern armor that had become ubiquitous during the early stages of the conflict. The Mark VI armor was a marvel of engineering, focusing on stealth and mobility without sacrificing protection. Its lightweight construction allowed Space Marines to move with unprecedented speed and grace, making it ideal for covert operations and lightning-fast strikes. The armor's conical helmet housed high-precision auto-sensors, greatly enhancing the wearer's situational awareness, while simultaneously making them harder to detect by enemy forces. Perhaps the most revolutionary aspect of the Mark VI was its emphasis on stealth technologies. The armor incorporated advanced materials and design features that significantly reduced its acoustic signature, allowing Space Marines to operate with a level of subtlety previously thought impossible for such formidable warriors. This newfound ability to move silently through enemy territory opened up a realm of tactical possibilities, particularly in the realm of guerrilla warfare. The Raven Guard Space Marine Legion played a crucial role in the development and field testing of the Mark VI armor. Their expertise in covert operations and hit-and-run tactics informed many of the design choices, resulting in a suit of armor perfectly tailored to their preferred style of warfare. The Legion's influence was so profound that the armor itself came to be known as Corvus armor, a testament to the symbiotic relationship between the Raven Guard and this cutting-edge technology. As the Horus Heresy dragged on, the advantages offered by the Mark VI Corvus armor became increasingly apparent. Loyalist forces, often outnumbered and outgunned, found the armor's blend of stealth and mobility to be a game-changer in many engagements. The ability to infiltrate enemy positions, gather critical intelligence, and strike at vulnerable targets without detection proved invaluable in the face of overwhelming opposition. One of the most significant advantages of the Mark VI armor was its ease of maintenance and repair. In a time when resources were scarce and supply lines were constantly under threat, the ability to quickly replace damaged components or conduct field repairs was crucial. This adaptability ensured that Space Marines could remain operational for extended periods, even in the most challenging combat zones. The Mark VI Corvus armor's impact on the course of the Horus Heresy cannot be overstated. Its advanced capabilities allowed Loyalist forces to execute daring raids, sabotage enemy war efforts, and turn the tide of seemingly hopeless battles. The armor's legacy would continue long after the Heresy, influencing Space Marine combat doctrine and armor design for millennia to come. As the Imperium emerged from the crucible of the Horus Heresy, the need for a new generation of power armor became apparent. The Mark VII Aquila armor, developed during this time of crisis, would become the face of the Adeptus Astartes for millennia to come. Its production methods focused on speed and efficiency, a necessity born from the urgent demands of an Imperium still reeling from civil war. The Mark VII's most distinctive feature was its thick plastron chest plate, adorned with the Imperial Aquila. This wasn't mere ornamentation. The chest plate incorporated advanced techniques to protect the armor's internal cabling, a significant improvement over earlier marks. The Aquila itself became a powerful symbol, representing the Emperor's authority and the Space Marines' unwavering loyalty to the Imperium. One of the Mark VII's most innovative features was its solar array, allowing the armor to operate for limited periods without its power backpack. This enhancement greatly increased the operational flexibility of Space Marines in hostile environments, enabling them to continue fighting even when cut off from traditional power sources. The challenges of mass-producing such advanced armor were considerable. To meet these challenges, the Mark VII was designed with backwards compatibility in mind. This allowed it to incorporate parts from previous armor marks, a strategic advantage during the tumultuous times following the Heresy, when resources were scarce and supply lines unreliable. As the Imperium faced new threats in the millennia that followed, the Mark VII proved its worth time and again. Its robust design and adaptability allowed it to serve in countless campaigns across the galaxy. From the Gothic War to the Tyrannic Wars, Space Marines clad in Aquila armor stood as the bulwark against the enemies of mankind. The Mark VIII errant armor, while similar in many respects to its predecessor, introduced a crucial improvement: an armored collar to protect the vulnerable neck joint. This seemingly small addition addressed a significant weakness, as the neck had previously been prone to critical injuries from stray rounds. The Mark VIII's enhanced protection further cemented the Space Marines' reputation as nigh invulnerable warriors. Over time, different Space Marine chapters customized their Mark VII and VIII armor to suit their unique combat doctrines. These modifications often incorporated chapter-specific insignia and functional enhancements, creating a diverse array of variants while maintaining the iconic silhouette that had become synonymous with the Emperor's finest. The enduring legacy of the Mark VII Aquila armor lies not just in its technological advancements, but in its cultural impact. It became the armor most commonly depicted in Imperial propaganda and artwork, symbolizing the might and resilience of the Space Marines. The sight of Space Marines in their Aquila armor charging into battle has inspired countless Imperial citizens and struck fear into the hearts of the Imperium's enemies for 10,000 years. As the 41st millennium drew to a close, the Imperium of Man teetered on the brink of collapse. In this darkest hour, Archmagos Belisarius Cool unveiled his most ambitious project, the Primaris Space Marines. These enhanced warriors, larger and more powerful than their firstborn brothers, required armor befitting their augmented physiology. Thus was born the Mark X Tacticus armor, a revolutionary design that would reshape the future of the Adeptus Astartes. The Mark X Tacticus armor stands as a testament to Cole's genius, incorporating 10,000 years of technological advancement and hard-won battlefield experience. Its most striking feature is its modular design, allowing for unprecedented tactical flexibility. Space Marines can now add or remove armor plates as the situation demands, adapting their protection and mobility to meet the ever-changing challenges of warfare in the 41st millennium. Compared to the armor worn by firstborn Marines, the Mark X offers superior protection without sacrificing agility. The integration of advanced materials and power systems allows Primaris Marines to move with a speed and grace that belies their increased size and strength. This combination of enhanced mobility and durability has proven decisive in countless engagements, allowing Primaris forces to outmaneuver and outlast their foes. The Mark X armor plays a crucial role in shaping Primaris combat doctrines. Its adaptability allows for specialized variants such as the heavier Gravis pattern for intense firefights and the lightweight Phobos pattern for covert operations. This versatility enables Primaris Marines to excel in a wide range of combat scenarios, from void warfare to planetary assaults. However, the introduction of Primaris technology has not been without controversy. Many within the Imperium view these advancements with suspicion, seeing them as a deviation from the Emperor's original vision for the Adeptus Astartes. Some traditionalist chapters have been slow to adopt Mark X armor, clinging to their ancient and venerated suits of power armor. Despite these concerns, the potential for future developments of Mark X armor is vast. Ongoing experimentation and field testing continue to yield new patterns and variations, each designed to further enhance the combat effectiveness of Primaris Space Marines. As the Imperium faces ever-growing threats, from resurgent Xenos empires to the endless hordes of chaos, the adaptability of Mark X armor may prove to be its greatest asset. The Mark X Tacticus armor is rapidly becoming the new face of the Adeptus Astartes, shaping the future of Space Marine warfare. Its modular design allows for unprecedented tactical flexibility, enabling Primaris Marines to adapt their armor to suit any battlefield role. As traditional Space Marine chapters incorporate this technology into their existing combat doctrines, the line between Firstborn and Primaris Marines continues to blur, heralding a new era for the Emperor's finest. In the grim darkness of the 41st millennium, there are threats so dire that even the legendary ceramite plates of standard power armor prove insufficient. For these extreme scenarios, the Imperium turns to walking tanks in the form of tactical dreadnought armor, more commonly known as Terminator armor. This imposing suit of war is a marvel of engineering, constructed from thick layers of ceramite and plasteel, reinforced with external adamantine ribs for unparalleled protection. The presence of a Space Marine clad in Terminator armor is a sight that inspires awe in allies and terror in enemies. These behemoths stride across battlefields, shrugging off attacks that would obliterate lesser warriors. The armor's nigh invulnerability is not mere hyperbole. There are accounts of Terminators surviving being stepped on by Titans, a testament to the incredible durability of these suits. But tactical dreadnought armor is more than just a mobile fortress. It incorporates advanced sensor suites that allow each member of a Terminator squad to see from their battle brothers' perspectives, creating a unified battlefield awareness that makes these elite warriors even more lethal. Biological and self-diagnostic sensors constantly monitor the status of each squad member and the integrity of their sealed suits, ensuring peak performance in even the most hostile environments. While Terminator armor represents the pinnacle of Space Marine protection, there exists an even more revered form of personal defense, the armor of the Adeptus Custodes. Crafted from orichalcum, a material both stronger and lighter than ceramite, Custodes armor shimmers with a golden sheen that reflects its wearer's exalted status. Each suit is a masterpiece of form and function, featuring intricate designs that include the full name of the custodian warrior who wears it. The psychological impact of these armors cannot be overstated. The sight of a Terminator squad teleporting directly into the heart of battle, their armor adorned with the honors of 1,000 wars, can break the morale of even the most steadfast enemy forces. Similarly, the golden radiance of Custodes armor serves as a reminder of the Emperor's might, inspiring Imperial forces to fight beyond their limits. Both tactical dreadnought and Custodes armor require extensive training to operate effectively. The advanced systems and sheer weight of these suits demand a level of physical conditioning and mental discipline that few can achieve. This exclusivity only adds to their mythical status among the ranks of the Imperium's defenders. What truly sets these armors apart is their ability to withstand attacks from some of the most powerful weaponry in the galaxy. The combination of advanced materials, energy fields, and sheer mass allows Terminators and Custodes to weather storms of fire that would annihilate entire squads of regular troops. Custodes' armor in particular represents the absolute pinnacle of personal protection technology, surpassing even the formidable defenses of Primaris armor. In the end, these extraordinary suits of armor stand as bulwarks against the encroaching darkness, embodying the Imperium's determination to prevail against impossible odds. As long as there are Space Marines in tactical dreadnought armor and Custodes in their resplendent golden plate, humanity will always have champions capable of facing the most terrible threats the galaxy can muster. From the crude Thunder armor to the modular Mark X Tacticus, Space Marine power armor has evolved alongside the Imperium's turbulent history. Each iteration reflects the challenges and technological advancements of its era, from the unification of Terra to the dark days of the Horus Heresy and beyond. The Mark II Crusade armor enabled the Great Crusade, while the Mark IV's improvised nature embodied the desperation of civil war. The iconic Mark VII Aquila became the face of the Adeptus Astartes for millennia, before the Primaris Revolution ushered in a new age of adaptability. With the Mark X, as new threats emerge in the 41st millennium, Space Marine armor continues to evolve. Expert opinions suggest that future iterations may incorporate adaptive systems capable of responding to battlefield conditions in real time. These advancements could include materials that adjust their properties based on the type of incoming fire, or integrated cogitators that anticipate and counter enemy tactics. Whatever form it takes, the armor of the Adeptus Astartes will remain at the forefront of Imperial technology, a symbol of humanity's resilience in the face of unimaginable horrors.